There's like 10,000 videos on how to promote yourself as a YouTuber or vlogger, but if you search how to promote your music on YouTube, it's unbelievable how bad the information is and how little of it is out there. Especially considering YouTube is so many of your potential fans' first impression of you, and depending on whose information you believe, it's either the biggest or second biggest music discovery platform on the web. No matter what, it's something you should be doing better, since by the numbers, YouTube is where the most music is consumed and the world's second largest search engine. 85% of music listening is active, as in people are watching videos, not passively streaming in the background. But there's tons of secrets that all the big channels and labels know that I've learned over the years in working on album release rollouts, and I've come to you today with a clear framework for optimizing your channel with even more info that I've learned in recent weeks. So in this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about how to promote your music on YouTube. So I've developed a 5-pillar framework on how you should look at your YouTube presence. Basically, you can use these to figure out how you're not doing as well as you could and to optimize your channel by focusing on each one. The 5 pillars are lore. This involves making a good thumbnail and title and get viewers to choose your video when they're faced with the choice. Ignite. This is how you try to juice the YouTube algorithm to boost you. Entertain. This is how we get your videos so they keep long session times so YouTube recommends them. Retain. This is how we retain viewers so that we get those long session times and the little tricks we can do to make sure that that happens on a regular basis. And then optimize. These are the small details that can help make small differences in helping you get more views and discovery. But before we start to get into these, I do need to say that I have lots of videos about what grows your fans, and one of the most important ones is to understand that consistent, sustained promotion is one of the biggest factors. But we're going to skip that for today because I've talked about it to death, but if you don't know about this, you really need to go to the description and learn it. So let's get into lore, since while many of you have videos up on YouTube, they aren't getting many views. Now, one of the craziest things that's happened since we last talked about YouTube is they changed their algorithm to put tons of artists on the browse page that don't have a lot of views yet. And this is great, since years ago, I'd get so many music recommendations from the YouTube suggestions on the browse page, and it's how I discovered so many of my favorite artists, but then that kind of stopped for a few years. But as you can see right now on the screen, this random screenshot I took just today, there's a ton of videos that don't have a ton of plays getting recommended by smaller artists, and once you're the type of artist who gets lots of plays on YouTube, you learn this is where the majority of your new listeners come from on YouTube, is this browse page. But let's say your video gets there. How do we get potential fans to choose you instead of the other ones? What? So here's the funny thing. For YouTubers and vloggers, a thumbnail and title is like everything. I have to spend so long on all my thumbnails, it's kind of ridiculous because they really help you get video clicks. But for music videos, it's luckily a lot more simple. For titles, you simply just need to do artist name, then song name, and then the context. Is this your official music video, visualizer, lyric video, playthrough, unboxing? Whatever. Just put it in this format and use this grammar and you'll be set to go. Now let's say your song is blowing up because of a lyric like "Meet Cute at the Purge" on the short form video apps, and your song is for some reason called International Players Anthem Part 2. So it doesn't say that viral line that everyone assumes is the title. Well, put 2 dashes and then write that line that's going viral, "Meet Cute at the Purge," after those dashes and after your artist name and song title so that people can find it easier in the search. You could also go into the description on the top line, say that song that says "Meet Cute at the Purge," and it'll really help it in search as well as printing your lyrics. You could also do this if there's a big star in the video or it's featuring somebody. All that stuff is really important to help get it in search. But don't disobey this format, since this is not a place for you to be artsy in the title and try weird things. YouTube wants to understand what it is, so don't get cheeky. Okay. But after that, we're done with title and we need a good thumbnail. But like everything else as years go on, the game gets to be more skilled. But with thumbnails, what we've learned is when you do striking images, like using cultural signifiers, or frankly, get everyone horned up, you're able to be the video that gets clicked on when the user's facing down other choices. So let's see what that looks like. If you have a really sick image from your video, take a screenshot of it. Secondly, there's things that tell people what type of music you make. For example, certain fashion statements say what type of stuff you do. If you have a spiked leather jacket and a certain type of patches, people probably know you're a certain type of punk. If you wear Stitch Fix and Allbirds, everyone will know you're an forgettable NPC loser who makes terrible music. Or you can just post a picture of you looking hot. Frankly, it works. It doesn't even need to be a picture for the video. It is often said that a thumbnail is a lot like packaging on a product at a store, that you look at it and the packaging will tell you how expensive and the quality. Of course, packaging can lie, but think of the packaging that lures you in when you look at other videos, and look at the people in your microgenre and see the things they do to lure you in. Then steal from that. But there are some tricks after this, which is learning what your community does so you stand out from them. Some genres use very filtered or saturated images, which gives a hint that you're one of their tribe, whereas others have extreme color pops that really jump out. The key is you have to have done your community work and have a list of similar artists in your genre, look through them, and then download one of two tools, vidIQ or one of 10. Both have Chrome extensions where you can look and see outlier performances of videos, meaning videos that perform more than the average. So we want to scroll through the videos tab on a bunch of channels that are similar to you and see which ones have high outlier scores. Now, with music this is tough because it can often just be that the song is really good and that the thumbnail wasn't that great, but you do start to get a hint of what starts to work in your genre after you do this research. Now, one of the things to remember is I can't just tell you what to do here, since every microgenre has different looks and cultural cues. You need to get to know this, since this will hint to strangers that you're a part of their community. And this is why doing community work is important, and that video is in the description. Some genres you need to learn color theory and how to do masks to get color pops and color correct different layers so they maximize it, whereas others turn it black and white and saturate it, and yeah, that's that. The key is these outlier tools will tell you what you should be doing and help you make your own observations. Oh yeah, you want to make sure your thumbnails are legible even when they're small. So you can use this free website Thumbs Up to see what they look like at tons of sizes, and you can make sure everything translates and pops at the different sizes people will see it while they're browsing YouTube. Oh yeah, and there's one other overlooked factor for getting clicks. You know on YouTube how if you mouse over a video you can see a preview of the first few seconds? Well, a lot of people think of that as a trailer for the video, so a lot of people will find out how to preview the coolest shots or really make the first few frames something very striking, since it will often determine click-through rates. And this is why you often see music videos these days do a flash frame of a few exciting moments at the top of the video, and maybe the singer wakes up from a dream or something like that. Anyway, if you have a striking image, getting it at the top can really help with this. But now we're on to the second pillar of getting views, which is Ignite. And what I mean by that is we can do things to help get your video more views and get it into the algorithm so it's getting recommended more. So the first thing should be obvious, but seems to not be, which is that YouTube loves inbound links, meaning when you link your video from Instagram stories, your link in bio, X, Blue Skies, Threads, your website, or for that matter, when blogs embed it, message boards, subreddits, Discords, your friends reposting your video and then telling their fans to watch it, all of this brings people into YouTube, which they love. Some of the advice YouTube gurus often say is the first 24 or 48 hours are crucial, and while that is true, what I've seen just as equally from music videos is if a month or 6 months later your video gets a ton of inbound links, YouTube will reignite it in the algorithm like it's brand new and put it on browse page sidebars and up next videos, and as long as it passes some tests we'll discuss later, it can go right back into the algorithm when a lot of inbound links hit the video. This also goes for if your song is blowing up on short form apps and people are coming over and searching your song because they saw it on Reels or TikTok. It's a great side of the algorithm and going to do a lot for you. But another way to get inbound links is you should be sending emails and text messages to your list, which you get from collecting them through pre-saved tools or exclusive tracks to your subscribers like a cover or alternate version. Anyway, when you send out an email or text with a link to your video, YouTube loves this. And if your fans watch the video or even do it repeatedly, it helps get you in the algorithm and those browse page recommendations. And since these fans were willing to give you their contact, they also are usually the most passionate and likely to repeatedly listen and help run up your plays, helping you get in that algorithm. But the next thing is often overlooked, but I really see as a big difference in the algorithm, which is when you are posting your short form videos to YouTube Shorts, that you need to link them to a long form video. This does not mean the YouTube short contains some of your video. If your song is in it, it can be any video with the song in it, but you want to link it to the YouTube long form video in YouTube Studio. Now, this can be confusing because frankly, it's a really stupid design, but right now you need to upload your short, then go over to YouTube Studio and then click the related video tab and set it to one of your long form videos. This gets short form listeners who like the song to be able to have a one-click way to take in your full song and push it more to the algorithm. Let's also remember, a music video is a big event. It should get linked high in your link in bio. You should really remind people about it by making scenes from it in shorts and posting it to IG and TikTok as well. But now let's talk about YouTube playlisting. I know we constantly talk about Spotify playlisting, but if you do your community work, you can find lots of YouTube channels that are influencers and genres that will premiere or playlist your songs. Do searches for your microgenre and try to find them, and when you do your community work, look out for the channels that curate videos and playlists in your genre. Even sometimes when you're watching another artist's video, you may see that another channel has posted the video. If you investigate that, that's sometimes these curators who post videos to their channel to get people discovered and influence in their microgenre. Try to find that person's contact, which is off on their channel page, and submit it. I find lots of microgenres have these, and they can get you on the radar of your most likely early fans, since the people who get this in their browse page and subscriptions are the die-hard fans looking for this type of music. These playlists can help ignite you into the algorithm, as the most avid fans of your microgenre will often be rinsing these playlists to discover new music. And another way to get your video a good start is, before your video is even up, if you have a catalog of YouTube videos already, go here in your analytics and find out when your fans are online and release your video an hour or two before, so they can see your video before it gets buried. As well, YouTube has their premieres feature, which you could have fans tune into and watch and chat with them, which is amazing for bond building. But what I like about it the most is they make a big difference, since they can be recommended to people who have already watched your content and get seen the subscriptions and browse functions and get a reminder to watch it later that will come up on their mobile device. Just don't overuse this tool and only use it on your biggest event. But hold up for a second, since if you like learning this stuff, you should really tap in on my members only YouTube feed, which for $5 a month, you get over 6 hours of new videos, as well as my back catalog of over 75 videos where I explain the latest social media trends, answer your questions, as well as tell you the cheat codes of how you blow up in your microgenre that are special to your microgenre so that you grow faster than other artists. I also dissect how the biggest artists in the world are blowing up from 0 fans to now making their dreams come true, and show you the lessons from them that you should know. I also go over the latest music promotion methods, and once a month I listen to any songs my members submit of their music they want me to listen to. So you should really tap in there, and there's a link in the description right now. So now we get to the next pillar, which is to entertain your viewers. Now, we know I've talked a lot about minimum viable videos and how you really need a video for every song, but it doesn't necessarily need to be the highest budget video of all time. And if you missed that video I made on this, watch that, since it's linked below in the description. Anyway, this is all to say, since a lot of time the traffic is coming from shorts, reels, or TikToks, we need to entertain the broken brains with bad attention spans with a video with some motion, which is why I advise doing at least a little motion in any video you make. But really, we have a few principles of what needs to happen here, since honestly, any music video that has a good song can get lots of plays, but the chances increase the better it is. If it's one that will inspire shares and for friends to send it saying you have to see this to another friend, well, that will help it get more views from people who will potentially like to hear it. But if you're interested in me talking more about that, well, watch the video that's in the description on that. Anyway, as long as we make a video that isn't boring, it can get the job done. But I do want to discuss a goal that a lot of you don't realize you should have. Many of you think you should put long sketches of you showing how cool you are at the top of your video, or even worse, at the end of your video. Now, this can sometimes be good for your positioning and help you show off your personality, but it nearly never is good to do it at the end of the video. This is because one of the main things we're trying to do is, just like short form videos like TikTok, Reels, and Shorts, we want your fan to go and watch another video after this and have a long session. Since YouTube cares most about a user clicking through to your song, and then they want to have what is called a session, where the viewer watches multiple videos, and if that happens specifically with your channel, that really helps you get recommended more. So here's the thing, when you have a long outro or blank screen at the end, it gives viewers time to click away potentially and go back looking for another video, and then when they can't find it, leave the app and drive down your session time. We want to avoid that, so we want to make sure the video ends at the end of your song. And I know some of you have seen your favorite musicians get away with not doing this, but you don't have a built-in fan base addicted to your music yet and need all the help you can get, and the rules for them are not the same as you. But let's say you already have videos up with those long endings. All hope is not lost. If you head to YouTube Studio on desktop, you can see when people drop off by looking at this graph. Now, most videos' goals is to look like a hockey stick, not one with a bunch of splinters or crooked edges. But if you're seeing a double-edged hockey stick at the end, you can go into YouTube Studio and trim off the end. The same goes if your video has one of those dumb stops in the middle where you do a plot in the middle, or you act out something in the center of the song while everyone was vibing to it. Truly the worst. If you want to get rid of that skit because it's making people drop off, well, you can edit it out later. And one more cool trick of this edit tool, if you do already have a fan base that's enthused to you, you can put some behind the scene footage that you can tell fans will only be up for the first 24 hours at the end of your video during the premiere. But then you can edit it out and put it in a separate video or your shorts or TikToks later. Pretty cool. But now we're going to talk about our next pillar, which is to retain your viewers. So when the viewer gets to the end of the video, there's of course those recommendations. There's some fun stuff we can do here where you can put up a choice of 2 playlists or videos as well as a subscribe button. And yet again, I recommend doing playlists since you can do neat tricks to keep fans engaged and keep them watching you. If you do that playlist of all the songs that are similar to the song and put it at the end, then they will get served all the songs they should be listening to after this one. But another cool trick you can do is select best for the user under this section, where YouTube will figure out which of your videos it thinks the viewer will most want to watch next, and this can really drive up session times when you switch over to this. Lastly, there's another choice for putting up your latest video. If you don't want to do the work of going through and updating this whenever you put up a new song, this can be a great choice too. So remember when I said that each song you release, you should make a playlist of songs similar to that, which fans may also like? Well, now you can put the song most similar to this one as a choice for the end screen too, and keep fans watching your videos and building a relationship with your music. Just remember, end screens are like 5 to 25 seconds, and keeping them on the short side can help video views since fans get intimidated by longer videos. So here's the thing, whenever you release a new single, it's your duty to go in and update those card things and the end screens and playlists on all your old videos so they can link to your new single. And this gets really annoying. Trust me, record labels and management companies have low-level interns and employees doing this all day, every day. But I do want to go deeper on using playlists to retain fans. First off, something most people miss about playlists is they need descriptions. This can help them come up in search, but can also give the viewer more context when you have them on your channel page. Be sure with music playlists to title them with more than just music videos and give some context to make them so they're more easily searchable and so that the viewer who just came to your channel page can understand what's going on. This also helps when they get shared. The preview comes up with some context when a potential fan gets sent that from a friend. And just like I advise on Spotify, and if you haven't watched my video on how to promote yourself on Spotify, it's also in the description, you should be making playlists of your favorite bands local to you and the ones that sound like you in your microgenre, and sharing that and tagging the groups on social media when you share them. Whenever you update the Spotify playlist that you have, see if you can do the same with your YouTube playlist. This also teaches YouTube's algorithm to recognize you as similar to those groups and can get fans of those groups to hear you if the other group shares it. But it's really important to make playlists of similar acts who are around your size and fan base and share them on your socials regularly and tag them when you share playlists on social media, as they can help build up your YouTube views as well as your algorithmic recommendations properly. And if you're curious how to find these other groups, my video on how to find community is linked in the description, and that will teach you how. But like I always tell you, share playlists on social media, not single videos, since Spotify and YouTube will play other artists they choose after your song is done, whereas you can choose what the listeners you drive to those platforms hear next when you share playlists instead. And I should say, if you like videos like this and want to be able to read them at your desk when your boss isn't looking, my newsletter, Music Marketing Trends, is free to subscribe to get the lessons like this in your inbox each week. Just head to the description for the link. Here's another trick. Whenever you release a new single, make a playlist by its name, which doesn't need to be listed on your channel page of that song, and then put the songs of yours that you think fans would most likely play after it. Then use this link on your link in bio and in socials. And another way to retain viewers is to answer comments and fast, and while they're still in a session to do this. First, download the YouTube Studio app on your phone and let it notify you of your comments and respond as fast as you can so you're more likely to get a response. Listen, I have like a million jobs to do, but if you've ever commented on some of my videos, you see I often respond pretty fast with a comment. When you write back to them, try to keep the conversation going too.
Ask them a question. Say something that's open-end so maybe you can get feedback from them. The more engagement here, the more the algorithm will like it. Also remember that little heart button that's only available to the creator of the video will send notifications to a fan that you love the comment. And it's a great trick for many people to get more engagement. And one of the things I think is really, really cool to do is if you haven't answered every comment, you can start answering them right before your next video drops or hearting them if you want to be fast. And a lot of time that will drive that video into that person's algorithm since you recently had an interaction with them. I've seen it work with the people I work with, and it really does make a huge difference. Anyway, right when your video drops, you want to pin a comment that allows people to build a relationship with you. I ask fans a question about themselves, ask about an Easter egg you put in the video if anyone caught it, or ask them something that ties in with the video that will get them interacting with it. Just remember, the bigger splash you make with the video in the first 1 to 7 days, the better. Now, you may be wondering if you should go gangbusters the first hour, but we have to remember, not everyone has time to watch a video when you premiere it. So you need to remember this is a sustained push, and remember the bigger splash you make, the more likely the algorithm is to help you. So we're going to work on this for 30 days and continuously push it.
Next, we're on to the final pillar we're going to discuss, which is building out your channel page. Now, you may say,
Jesse, what the hell does this have to do with promoting my music?
and as always, I'm going to ask you to chill, dog, and listen up. One of the biggest things musicians miss about why you need to have a great profile on things like YouTube and Spotify is it helps whatever attention you get be maximized so that when you get an opportunity, it really blows up. If you can give listeners more reason to be interested in you, they will return to you more often. When you make it impossible for your email to be found, you lose out on press shows and potentially even bigger opportunities. And when you don't have a great trailer on your channel, you lose the chance for a fan to understand you and tell them about you to their friends. When you don't have a neat profile, potential team members may see you as lazy. So take the time to do it. I'm not kidding you when I say this. It takes a whole 30 minutes to build out your whole profile. So what you need to do to build out your profile properly is click around all the tabs and do everything you can to build the profile and make it look nice. What you see on the screen here is two groups, Dury and Lay Banks, who I think have particularly great, well-organized profiles who make it easy for fans to find what they want and understand the artist, which then creates them having long sessions, since that's our goal.
Look at a few other groups you like, see what they do, take the best of it and put it together. Every genre is different and every way people do this feels a little different across music genres, so figure out how you should do it for yourself. And if you need to format things, get something like Canva, Pixelmator, if you don't want to have a huge Photoshop subscription, and make it happen. One thing even experienced artists miss is that your channel itself has tags, not just the songs. So put any keywords people would need to search for, whether it's genre, location, popular song names, your own personal names, your album names, etc., and get them in here so that they potentially show up on search. So let's say you have a video with a rat dragging pizza and your band is playing on top of the pizza and he's dragging it through the New York City subways. One of your tags should be Pizza Rat Video Band, since giving that YouTube a hint as to what search terms people would put in for you really helps you get discovered. Anything people may search for you should go here, but remember, these search terms don't guarantee you'll be there. If people don't get what they're looking for, you're gonna go down and search. So if you're putting the most handsome singer on earth when you look like Shrek with face tattoos, it's not gonna go so well. You can seriously enter tons of search terms here though, so go wild. Then we get to your trailer, which should be a video that shows your personality. But if you're not comfortable with that, it's cool to just put your latest music video here. But remember, this video autoplays, so you want it to be something when someone who lands on your page would want to keep watching or potentially make a great first impression. I know some of you often spend forever on EPKs, but truly telling your story or visually showing a vibe of what you do in 2 to 4 minutes here can really help convert people over to wanting to support you and get to know your music better and binge your music. Let's also remember to fill in the suggested channels section with the other acts you're friends with and the people you collaborate with. In fact, you can even write other groups that you have things in common with and see if they want to trade these placements so that their fans discover you and vice versa and you start to build a community. But trust me when I say, if you put a huge artist you respect here, not only does it look pathetic, it's a waste of time. It's better to put nothing here than to put Drake or some other huge artist. Oh yeah, and one small trick many people miss is that once you have 1,000 subscribers, you can get that fancy subscribe watermark button on top of all your videos like I have in mine. Do something eye-catching with that subscribe button so that it actually catches people's attention and they get the hint, and let it match your aesthetic. And truly, I've seen so many people up their subscriptions with that little nudge. Okay, but now we want to populate this channel with some playlists, so your channel page looks nice like this. If you have numerous playlists, you want to make sure there's these nice horizontal rows so fans can easily navigate through them. But the top row should be whatever is going to be the best first impression for fans to get to know you. And remember, you could do playlists for all sorts of things. Particularly, I like to do music videos, lyric videos, full album streams, alternate versions like acoustic songs or remixes, behind the scenes and personality videos that show what you're like in real life. Whatever could be categorized, make a playlist of it. But if you have more than 20 songs out, make a greatest hits playlist of the best 5 or the bangers or whatever feels good to call it. And put that first since you want to make the best first impression. And listeners are used to going to Spotify and hitting play on your 5 most popular songs. So if you give people that opportunity to do it on YouTube, it makes your discovery way easier and makes it more likely they're going to like you when they hear your best material first. Look at a few other groups you like, see what they do, take the best of it and put it together. Every genre is different and every way people do this feels a little different. YouTube is always changing how they use the description and tags for search. So I like to be safe here. Let's start with description. First, describe the video and do any linking for pre-order streams or any other sites or anything else you want to promote at the top. If there's some crazy visuals, describe them in words that a way a fan would search for them if a friend showed them the video and then they went home and wanted to search for that video again. So if it's a video where you have a bunch of people slicing themselves up with broken CDs, then describe that here. That's right, you're a real twisted artist. Look at you. Anyway, then do credits, including the producer and mixer of the song, since this could be something that comes up in search, which can help you get discovered if they blow up or if they're famous, along with any performers and video directors. And then credit everyone involved in the video for the same reasons. You'd be shocked how many groups get tons more views when a director or actor blow up after your video's been out for a while, and you can benefit from this in views. Next, and this is important, make sure you put your lyrics, since it helps your video come up in search if someone searches for that lyric that they remembered. If someone Googles that lyric they liked, as long as your lyrics aren't generic as all hell, it will come up in search, and then this potential fan will find your video and hopefully fall for you, and you'll build a fan for life. Lastly, at the bottom of the description, you can do some hashtags if you want those to show up above your video by the title. I find this kind of corny for musicians, but if you want fans to participate in social media hashtag campaigns, or you want to tag your genre so it's reinforced to the fans, go for it. But what about tags, which are different than hashtags? Down below when you're entering all your video's information, you can tag it for search, just like we did your channel. And it's very similar. If your video has a crazy visual, put that along with the song titles and any terms someone may search. And then, of course, any genres or micro-genres that your song is in, even misspellings of your name. This is where they should go, since tags allow search to factor it in and give greater context of what you could potentially come up for when people search on YouTube.
So here's the thing. While you just learned all this, I have a video on how you make a music video that actually gets views. So make sure you watch that next if you really want to level up. Thanks for watching.